city, cleared by the Khmer Rouge, who'd forced everyone out at gunpoint. So it's with some relief that I find a vibrant, busy city. And it's here that I meet Chit, one of Cambodia's leading journalists. And I couldn't have hoped for a better guide.
The lovely thing about Phnom Penh is that it's a really small town. Despite a bit of traffic, you can get around easily by motorbike. There's cafes everywhere, and then there's wonderful architecture left by the French. It's a really lovely city.
So is that the palace?
Yes, it is.
Even this most Cambodian of structures was built by the French.
So what happened next?
Well,
Hunter is a relatively recent arrival in newly peaceful Phnom Penh. Over lunch at his house, I learn about Chiet's Khmer Rouge past.
Actually, I married during the Khmer Rouge time. I got married, yeah. Khmer Rouge forced me to marry.
But you're not with your wife anymore?
Yeah, but I could not say no.
Yeah.
If I say no, I would be hated or disappeared.
Yeah? But you're a survivor.
Yes, I'm a survivor. I'm like a cat.
And people did disappear. Millions of them. To bring me face to face with the demons of Cambodia's past, Chiet takes me to Tol Sleng, now known as the Museum of Genocide. Tol Sleng was once a high school, but the Khmer Rouge turned it into a torture chamber. Here they interrogated anyone who they considered to be an enemy of the state, which seemed to be just about everyone.
How many people were killed here? How many people died?
It's more than 20,000 people.
20,000?
Or die in this prison.
And they just brought them in and tortured them?
Torture and then send them to Chiang Rai and kill them.
Which were the killing fields?
Yeah, a million people got killed over there.
The quiet is unsettling as we step further into this dreadful place. Morbid fascination is overtaken by horror. This wasn't just a place where people died, it was a place where they died horribly.
What a horrible place.
Yeah, horrible.
Was it a map of Cambodia?
This is a map of Cambodia.
Pretty macabre, isn't it?
Yes, it is. They were intellectual and farmer.
And they made a map of them.
Yeah. My God.
The tragedy can be seen in their faces, victims and victors side by side. Those of the Khmer Rouge, defiant and arrogant. Those of the victims, simply defeated. It's impossible not to be moved by the unspeakable suffering and brutality that took place here. As we walk, I wonder how any ideology or hatred could ever justify such evil. For Chiet, it must be particularly confronting.
You know, I feel sad and remind in the past day when I see this picture.
Yeah? It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. So it remind me the day in the past about the Khmer Rouge life, starving, fearing. What do you think about that?
I've just never seen anything like it. The Holocaust in Germany must be similar. But
Similar, yeah.
I haven't seen that, so I've never seen anything like it. And you managed to live through this.
Yeah. Try to, to live in this, through this regime.
I think you're lucky to be alive. Let's go and
God
get
help me.
Yeah. Let's go and get a drink.
Okay.
In spite of all they've been through, or perhaps because of it, whenever Cambodians get a chance, they party like there's no tomorrow. And karaoke is the urban entertainment of choice. When they sing, they do so without a shred of embarrassment, which is sometimes a good thing. And sometimes not, particularly when it's my turn. It's hard to believe that not long ago the entire population of Phnom Penh was forcibly relocated, leaving the city empty. Tomorrow, I too must leave the city as I head into the last of Southeast Asia's great wilderness areas, the Cardamom Mountains. Southeast Asia's monsoons were heavy this year in Cambodia's Cardamom Mountains, and few of the roads survived. So we resort to a hangover from the communist days, a Russian-built six-wheel drive. And it's like riding an angry elephant.
These bridges washed out every year? Yes, every year. So they have to rebuild them each time? Yeah. That's the worst road I've ever been on, I think.
My travelling companions from the Wildlife Protection Office, Hunter Weiler and Sun Heen, have invited local journalist Chiat to join us so he can witness firsthand what's happening in the Cardamoms. Once more, we're heading into the Khmer Rouge's former territory. It wasn't far from here that Chiat was stationed when he was a Khmer Rouge soldier. Nearly everyone who lives here was once in the Khmer Rouge. This was where their rule lasted longest. It is the remotest and wildest corner of Southeast Asia. The Cardamom Mountains are on Cambodia's southern coast, and they're one of Southeast Asia's last wilderness areas. Our destination is the remote village of Osam. The Cardamoms are covered with thick tropical rainforest, which is full of wildlife. This is what Cambodia would have looked like before land clearance and mass exploitation of forests. Ironically, if the country had remained under the Khmer Rouge, the loggers would have been kept at bay.
This is illegal. You know, people cutting tree down very fast, and they are moving into the jungle and blowing up the elephant and tiger. So I'm afraid it will be, all the tree and animal will be gone in the next 3 years or 2 years if the government,
2 or 3 years.
yeah, if the government do not have any action to stop this kind of activity.
And it's not just loggers. In the last couple of years, some 5,000 refugees have moved in. They want land, so they slash and burn the jungle. This is the village of Osam. If the Khmer Rouge had had their way, all of Cambodia would have been like Osam. To them, it was the ideal community. There was no money, no organised religion. It was free of intellectuals and decadence. To the Khmer Rouge, this was a peasant communist utopia. The Osam village elders are animists. They worship the spirits of the forest. The Khmer Rouge tolerated these beliefs, as they posed no threat. But their isolation and their simple, uncomplicated lifestyle is coming to an end. The Cardamoms are about to be caught in a pincer movement. On one side, the forces of exploitation, as the loggers denude the forests. On the other side, the forces of ignorance, as the refugees slash and burn. For Hunter and Sun Hien, it's a race against time. They must find out what animals live in these jungles. Otherwise, they can't mount an argument for their preservation. For them, the camera traps are the key, providing hard evidence that this wilderness should be preserved. Thankfully, they're already finding a treasure trove of rare animals. Our cameras snap Southeast Asian wild cattle, sambar deer, clouded leopards, and a rare Indochina tiger. But alas, no two-horned unicorn, the elusive Keating Vor. Though if it exists anywhere, it'll be here in the Cardamom Mountains.
Even skilled hunters who spend years in the forest only encounter one of these animals maybe once every 5, 7, 10 years. It's usually once or twice in a lifetime encounter from what we've been able to learn. Tussaret himself has never seen one, and he's spent over 15 years in the forest, 12 years as a Khmer Rouge gorilla, as a hunter for the gorilla, supplying meat. So he's one of the most skilled hunters from Cambodia, and he, in the Cardamoms, 12 years in the forest, he's never seen a Keating Vor.
So I guess if the Keating Vor is here or not, it's academic, because this forest actually might not be here in 5 years' time.
That's why we're all working so hard to establish a new protected forest in this area exempt from logging to preserve the species we know about and probably other unknown species. Maybe not as big and glamorous as the Keating Vor, but surveys within the last year have turned up new species of snakes, butterflies, moths. This is a biodiversity treasure house, and we do need to inventory it thoroughly, and we need to preserve what we have.
In a small shrine, I find a monk giving blessings for all who enter. And I can't help but leave a prayer of hope on the ancient altar. It's too late to stop the killing fields. And probably it's too late to save the snake-eating two-horned unicorn. But it's not too late to stop the destruction in the Cardamom Mountains. And it's not too late to prevent Cambodia's other endangered wildlife following the Keating Vor. It's also not too late to consider the lessons of ancient Angkor, though next time there may not be any trees left to take their revenge, here at the ends of the earth.